Today we're going to look at Carrera Digital. We're using 132 80's flashback. Some of the parts are already out of the box, and I've got some other bits to show you. So we have the app as well, and 124 transformer to run 124 cars. We'll get through it. Start with the box. I have already taken out the power base and some other pieces. We're going to look at batteries and how they go in the controllers, how we charge them, and then I'm just going to build it, which could be fun. It might be a nightmare. We'll see shortly. I'm going to get this thing open and then we will begin. So, box open, can you see? Yep, that's good. Controllers, two of them. Now here, batteries are in this bit just here. So, they're the batteries. I've forgotten a screwdriver, but I'm fairly sure with editing I will have found a screwdriver and we'll be able to sort this out. So there's the batteries. Wireless controller, looks like the standard analog one that we use, but it's got a red side. To be honest, it is the standard analog one we use. So two of those, and of course the connector. Right, what's next? What's that bit? The cars, as always, we've got the BMW M1, which I'm a big fan of, and the Capri, which I'm also quite a big fan of, to be honest. Wireless charging mix. So this will plug into the lap counter bit, the start line bit. Where is it? It's here. Start line bit. That plugs in somewhere. Not sure where. I'll have to look at that. I know it does plug into the tracks. Bag of brushes and wing mirrors. I keep looking at the video screen, not the point. Another cardboard box. Corners. Lots and lots of corners. The corners in this are all radius 1s. Well, the radius 160s, but let's be honest, that's a fairly large radius 1. It's about the same as the Skeletch's radius 2. There are many. We are going to build the track on the front. They are all radius 1s? Yep, they are all 160s. To give you a clue of how many, that many. I'll count them later. Right. Red clips, we'll talk about these later. There are more red clips in the box, but I put those there. End shoulders for the straight section over here. 4/3. So if there were quarters, it would make more sense, but they're 4/3. So 3 of these is straight. And there's the 4th one. Oh no, there's 6/3. There's another 3. So in total we have 7/3. 2 straights, 3 straights, 3 full straights. Remove all the more plastic bits, and another couple of end caps, which I find odd because there are only. I know the end caps go. Those end caps are for the power base itself. Right, transformer. It is a European plug, but we have an adapter. There is no adapter in the box that I can see. These are for supporting the barriers. Come out. These are the barriers. 3 meters of barrier, 3 times 6, 18 meters of barrier. And that's it, that's the box empty. But that's because I had already taken out the power base. I had also already taken out the left-hand lane change, left-hand corner lane change, which we will swap together eventually. No, we won't, because it's the wrong way round. There we go, that's the right way round. I was trying to do it right-handed, it's a left-hand corner. And the straight line change, which is here, slots together like so. And technically the fourth straight with the grid on. Right, it's fairly easy. There's a screw in the base just here. We just unscrew that. That frees up the base, he says. There we go, pops it off. The base comes out. These take between 1.5 and 2 hours to charge. It is suggested to fully charge them before using them. Right, so plugs, either end. I've got to get this one out. I'm going to use my handy needle nose pliers to do this bit. I just did that in song, it will not be edited out, it'll be terrible. Right, so standard plug. I think you all know how plugs work. I hope you all know how plugs work. And they slot together like that. Just be careful not to pull the wires out on either side. Then we fold that back in, put the lid on, and screw it back down. This sits on this, like that. And then somehow the power gets to it. I've got to work out how it slots in. We will look at the instructions for that. Right, I'm going to do the other one, and then I'll be back. So in the instructions I have found how to connect the charge unit. It's just here. See that? Right over. I'm now going to demonstrate it. So, start base. Charge unit. Goes towards the end, this end, and that goes in like that. Now on the other side there will be red clip points. There is. Now those red clips, I've got some spare over here. I'm going to grab those. Forward. That's in place, red clip underneath. Actually, let's do it this way. So, put the red clip through here, this side first, so it's in there. See? Then, join it up with the slot, push the two together, push the clip across. That's now going to support the weight. See? I wouldn't suggest doing that. Amazingly, or quite interestingly, there's another charge point at the other end. So if you want 4 controllers, you can put another charge point at this end and clip it in. It may be for another section of track, it may be for other parts. Now if I remember correctly, where is it? Here it is. This is the bit we're going to stick onto the end here, like that. Then we're going to put the caps on either end. So looking at this, we'll run the red bit in here first. So the red's on the outside, that's on the inside, see? And then slot it in. Now I don't know if it's going to fit or not, but there is a clip point here that goes in, and it actually clips here in the base. So you've got 2 to make that double sturdy. You can't put one here, there's nothing to hold it, but it does look like something can go there. Don't know what, another one here as well, on the end. So it's got like squares. I don't actually know what they're for. Now, we'll put the tabs on the end. See? It's a large gap for it to go through. But we have got a peg hole here, and we have got a peg hole here. And to do that, we'll start out by putting them into this one. Yeah, no, lost the pegs. And we'll do that one as well. And we'll stick this together. Probably should have put the start line on first and then done this, but I'm not going to, I'm not actually, these end bolts, I'm not going to attach downwards. I'm only going to put them on freely. See? And now we have a nice wing start section with power base on. Right. Let's put that on the table out of the way. Next bit, straights. These things, I suggest what we do, put these together, peg them up. If we peg them, then they should hold their power through them. Done. And same with the corner, because obviously these track parts are always going to be laid out the same. With the corners, instead of trying to go through this end where the curve is, go through the flat end here and down. Nice and steady. Right, you don't have to peg it, it just helps. So that's that bit done as well, just for planning. It all uses the same corner, and it uses the third of a straight and the full straight. So we will build the track as it is laid out. So there we go, first part, in. So we're going clockwise, but for some unknown reason, and I don't know what this reason is, the first part's the third. It's not suggesting this bit going in before the start line. It's suggesting a third. So this bit actually goes after the start line, which makes no sense. So we're going to do this the wrong way round. We're going to put this in here, because the map doesn't have it on. I should have clipped it in. And we're going to put the third on the other side now. We always clip in, and then slide it up. Two together. Right, what's next? So the first one out is a corner. Just one corner. Right, when you're doing the straights, or the corners, pegs always go on the furthest 2 points on the outer edge. Okay? Now, also, you notice these have these curved sections around the metalwork, here and here. Here and here, that helps them slot together. You've got to make sure that that is down so it slots in, and those bits are slightly in, because they can pop out and go between the plastic here on the guide, or on the plastic guide here. You want them in the middle, and these bits of course can pop up and go over the top of the rail. Watch out for that. That's why I've got the pliers here. Easily done. Goes in. Done. Right, next bit. It's the straight with the corner. It's this bit. So yet again, 2 clips at the bottom. I may end up having to move this. I'm not even sure it will all fit in focus or view. Take our time to put this together. On this floor, it's not easy. Done. Right, what's next? Okay, third of a straight. So we'll separate one of these out. Do the 2 clips. Check the ends to make sure they're not sticking out too far, and then you slot. Okay, I believe this is the first 90 corner. It is. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3. We're going to clip them together, like so. Then we're going to put all the pegs in the bottom. Trying not to bend it, of course. This track is actually quite heavy, so doing more than 3 sections like this at a time can be a pain. Trust me, yesterday I did Donington and I tried to do 9 sections in one go, and that took some effort. So that now takes this video. So yes, by the way, we have a new Donington. Well, at the time of recording this, the Donington is new. That's third of a straight again. Same again, I'm going to clip them together, making sure the metalwork doesn't override here or here. Do the pegs in the back. I forgot the pegs. See, even I forget pegs. Okay, so that's the straight. We've got 2 corners now and then the straight again. So, right, I'm going to finish this and then we will get into the rest of it. Right, got to mention something. On the bottom of the lane change tracks, there's these little dots. They're the sensors. You need to make sure they're in the direction of travel. So, for example, this one, cars are going that way, this one needs to be where the car is going through, so that these will flip and change lane. Like that. Right. Got that bit. It's fine. Okay, so we're now all plugged in and charging. This camera doesn't sit high enough to give the whole track. I haven't put the barriers on, but that's because I'm lazy more than anything. Trying to find a decent shot of the track. There you go, that's what it looks like. It's a fair size, to be honest. The controllers are charging, they're going to take 2 hours, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 other controllers off one of our tracks over here, and I'm going to wire those in. Now our tracks aren't digital, our tracks are analog, but the wireless controller for the analog track is also a digital controller, and I will now show you how to set it all up. So to set a controller in, I'm going to use this one, standard green one here, which you probably can't see. Now what we can do, press the button here to get to 1, which unfortunately the camera can't pick up, and then there's a black button just there on the back of the controller. We press that, that's coded. Now we'll do the other one, we set this to 2, black button, press it, flashes, coded. Cars next. Now for cars it's a bit easier. Put the car on the track, that's the car on the track, press the code button like that, then with the controller, which you can't see, you just click the trigger, lights go, that's now coded. So, could do the other car, we take this car off, put the other car on, press code. Oh, hang on. I'm going to zoom out for this because there's some flashy lights and stuff as well. So you press code, controller, press the trigger, lights go on, that's now coded. Simple as that. Right, so the other cool trick, you may notice that digital cars have lights. If you put a car on the track and leave it there for 5 seconds and then press the lane change button, the lights turn on and the lights turn off. But the brake lights, which you can't see, are still on. So we'll put it this way around. We'll drive the car without the lights on. So it's got no lights on. If we brake to the corner, the brake lights come on. This only happens with digital. Of course, if I just turn the lights on, you can see the lights are on. As I brake, they get brighter. Race app. We're going to do that now. So, Carrera race app. This is a Galaxy Tab 3. Yep. What I had to do was actually upgrade it to Android 7.0 to get it to work. But once updated, find the controller. No, find the thingy. White screen of death. Oh, there we go. Carrera race app. So this, if I click here, so it's connect unit, controller, click, and it's connected. Back on the screen. So that's now connected to that. So we have quick race, Carrera race, and performance tests. We'll go new circuit. We'll go 80's flashback. I'm pressing way too many buttons. Done. No photo. So click the tick. Done. Right, we're going to go race series. Quick start racing. Race circuit. It hasn't saved the race circuit. Oh, we'll just use Donington. I can't be bothered. No race started. Controllers. Yep. Click the arrow. We'll do it to fixed laps. And we'll have it in slot mode. All cars must complete the required laps until the race is finished. Okay. Have those. And yep, yellow has the Ford Capri. Swap those over because they're actually the other way around. Right cars, but just the wrong way around for the controllers. Green is the BMW, yellow is that. So press the play button. Now, I can press the button here, or I can press the button on the controller. I'm going to press the button here. At which point this happens. We'll just zoom back. And we started. Off we go. Right, so with the other one we're going to do some lane changing. And it's starting to rain. So there's the first lane change. We're going to go to that, we're going to press down the lane change button and we're going to drive over it, and that changes the lane. And as we come up to this side, we're going to do the same thing, and that will change the lane. And we should never then, I didn't lane change. I've got to press the button. And this is incredibly fast. Pretty sure though the race has ended. It has. And that's digital. With the 124 cars, you really should put the shoulders around the outside. They fit to the track like the track does itself. Clips underneath, slots in, locks into place. But 132 track with a 124 transformer will do the same. The track size for 124 and 132 is identical. The only difference, size of the car. Right, through again. I've fitted the speaker this time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
As I said, need shoulders. The cars do slide out. When you simulate these ones with a big one, they go a lot better because they've got shoulders on the track.
The race has finished.
There you go. 124 car on a digital track. Actually working properly.